So let's begin with the first issue that I would like to address, which is about quick fix and reductionism. So as I said before, I'm going to present the idea of techno fix as stemming from what I would call a reductionist approach. Before I say something about the reductionist approach, I have a very simple definition of quick fix. Of course, in this case, since in this course we're dealing with educational technology, the kind of quick fix I'm referring to is what we may call techno quick fix. But let's start from the beginning. So what is a quick fix? Well, I hope that the image already conveys some kind of meaning. But if we want to be a little bit more analytic, we can say that a quick fix is essentially the idea that there is something broken. In this case, is an egg, and the thing that somehow got broken can get quickly get repaired. So the first thing that I would like to address is that there is something broken, there is a damage, and this damage can quickly be repaired. The second thing is about quick fix or techno quick fix is that the thing that gets broken can be quickly repaired the moment in which we introduce a single change in the system. So in this case, we have the egg that gets broken, there is a crack, and the plaster is supposed to repair the damage fairly quickly, of course. When we are talking about not just quick fix, but techno quick fixes, then technology comes into place, because the one single change that would repair what got broken invariably involves the use of a piece of technology. So basically, we are able to fix the situation because we introduce one single change, and that single change is basically some kind of technological intervention, or it involves technological intervention. It involves the use usually of one single piece of technology. This piece of technology has the causal power to basically bring about the desired change, which is, of course, in this case, repairing the broken piece. So there is, just to summarize, there is an element of quickness. It's fast. The kind of repair, it's fast. Usually is one single thing that does the job. The single thing in case of techno quick fixes is a piece of technology, and the piece of technology is supposed to have the causal power to amend the situation. So there is also a projection onto the main object of this causal power. Now I have a list of examples. I have 3 examples that are slightly different. The first example is a kind of, I don't think that it's a commercial, but it looks like a commercial for interactive smart boards. And I would like to play the video. You can actually watch the video yourself by clicking on the video, but I would just like now to say a few words while I'm playing the video. Okay, as I said, I don't know if it's a commercial or what. On YouTube I found that there was this description, and it could be a short film about I don't know, educational change or the use of technology. So, but basically the situation that is described, as you can see, is that of a class where students are asking the teacher to go out. It seems that the teacher doesn't really pay attention to them. He's just scribbling something on a traditional blackboard, and then you see that one by one all the students go away, until when, and I have to skip forward, almost all of them are leaving, if not all of them, And then the question is, where are they all going? And they are going to another class in which, and we will discover it fairly soon, there is a teacher who is actually using an interactive smartboard. And so they all want to go there, they all want to be in that classroom in which the teacher is actually using this interactive smartboard, and they are happy, engaged, and interested. You can actually see now, I want to point this out, you can actually see the teacher there, right there, who is actually very happy to see that all the students are coming in. So, well, in this case, the idea is that if we have students that are disinterested, bored, disengaged, well, then what we have to do is to use technology, use the latest technology, hopefully, who is going to replace the old technology, which is in this case is represented by the traditional blackboard, with a new tool, which is in this case is depicted as their interactive smartboard. I hope that I will get very soon to the point. Yes. No. Yeah. So this would count as our quick fix, techno quick fix. So if you have a problem, just replace the old technology. If you have a problem with engagement, interest, and so on and so forth, well, the best way to address this problem is with an interactive smartboard, which allegedly makes the class or the lecture more fun. The second, I want now to switch to the second example. Okay, the second example is from 2009. So this is I think a promotional, we can call it a promotional video about smartboards. As I said, this was added to YouTube in 2009, and I think that it represents a situation which refers back to that period. But it's anyway interesting to see how the smartboard is introduced and how it is promoted. So here again, I'm not gonna show you the whole clip. You can watch it yourself, but I want to point to a few things. And here again, it's a little bit longer than the other, so I'm not going to bore you with the whole video. But here again, we have the description of the actual use of this smartboard. You see a teacher in a traditional context in which you have pupils working on some tasks. Of course, in this case, they are also showing how to operate the smartboard, and they are also showing what you can do and the engagement with students we have just seen in the very first part.
It has 3 unique features.
During the video, which continues, you also have a few interviews with students, with teachers saying, well, this is a fantastic tool, I can use it for different purposes, and I see that students are way more engaged, and you see here the student seems happy. But what I wanted to point to is a quote that comes from one of the teachers that were interviewed. Actually, the teacher is this one, who actually says this, which I found quite interesting for the purpose of discussing these techno quick fixes. So, well, the guy says, now that I have a smartboard in the classrooms, students are way more involved in their own learning. So once again, although I may not claim that this is a quick fix, but from this quote actually we can reasonably say that here again we have a problem. We can describe this situation in this way, that we have a problem. The problem is how to engage students in their own learning. So we want them to be active during the learning process. Well, if we want that, then there is a technology, which is the smartboard, an interactive smartboard, then can actually allows us to achieve this goal, which is the goal of making students, making pupils more interested, more engaged, more involved in their own learning process. Now I have a third example, which I regard as the same type of situation, which is a different kind of product. This is not a product that is already in the market, and the story goes that I got roughly a year ago. I got an email which I'm going to show you. At least the text of the email. This was an email that came from an edtech company, a British or English edtech company, who was basically promoting a tool. So let's see what it is all about. So this is an edtech company, a startup based in London. So it's British or English, and what they are doing is to provide a piece of software that converts PowerPoint and Google Slides presentations into interactive presentations. Now, as I said, I don't know if they came out with a product, but at the time, this was how they were describing their product, which I never saw. So they continue. This is the text, the email that I received. So basically, wherever anyone uses a PowerPoint presentation to transfer information, this piece of software can assist and modernize. Then it goes on, and this is what they actually want to, what they are looking for, because they are saying that they want to find European university lecturers, like me, for example, that use PowerPoint inside their lecture halls and help them eradicate the pain point of students hiding behind their laptops during a lecture. So this is exactly the same kind of situation that we have seen in the two previous examples. So we have a problem which sorry, concerns students, let's say students' engagement. Here again we have the problem of students' engagement, although it's phrased in a different way, because in this case it's the problem of students hiding behind their laptops during traditional university lecture. And then we have the solution, and the solution in this case is a piece of software that allows the researcher to convert PowerPoint and Google Slides into interactive presentation. So the email goes on, and they say, well, they actually describe the tool. You can actually read here. There are engagement analytics, which in the end can provide powerful insights for both the lecturer and the students. And then, of course, they are informing us that they need to pilot their software, and they are looking to establish a paid pilot program with universities. I actually don't remember if that meant that we had to pay them or if they were paying us. So this is another interesting example. Basically, as I said before, once again, technology comes in as something that fixes the problem. And here again, if we go back to the very first the critical issue that I formulated at the very beginning is again all about what to expect from our tools, and in this case what we can reasonably expect from our tools, according to these people, is that they can actually provide a quick fix for a number of issues. For some reasons, I see that engagement, involvement, and interest are the things that are usually targeted by edtech people, or people promoting their own edtech tools. Let's put it this way. Now, I put here a disclaimer, because what I'm saying is not that we don't have to use any app or any technological tool, of course. it would be completely stupid if I said something like this. What I want you to consider is that perhaps we should, the moment in which we think, and I think that it's a reasonable expectation, that technology can help us solve certain problems, when we want to do this, we should also be well aware as to what we can realistically and reasonably expect from our tools. Now, of course, in these cases that I showed you before, I'm not actually sure if the smart board and the interactive board have actually solved the problem with engagement. But I think that after more than 10 years since smart boards have been introduced, I'm not so sure that smart boards have eradicated the problem of student disengagement. Of course, as I said before, it might be that in some cases the use of interactive smart boards have actually helped particularly teachers in particularly classrooms to solve this issue, but we can't, of course, generalize it. And most of all, what I want to point your attention to is that very often this type of reasoning is very weak. So this is, to summarize, the critical issue. We may expect way too much from our tools.